It was on a fog-drenched evening that freelance journalist Maya Patel arrived in Harrow Point, a wind-battered coastal town whose craggy cliffs and lonely beaches had inspired more than their share of ghost stories. Maya was chasing whispers, the old story of the vanished lighthouse keeper Jasper Vane, who, 53 years ago, had walked out into a storm and was never seen again. As the mist curled through cobbled streets, Maya questioned townsfolk in creaking pubs and weather-stained cottages. Most repeated the legend with a kind of reverent distance, recalling how Jasper's last radio transmissions were static-laced mutterings about shadows dancing on the water. Yet one, Lena Harwell, a stooped woman with eyes sharp as gulls, leaned over her tea and whispered, "He left something behind in that lighthouse. People who go looking for it seldom come back quite the same." At low tide, Maya took the rickety boardwalk to the lighthouse. Its white paint was peeling, its lantern dark against the growing gloom. As she stepped inside, her flashlight beam crawled over rusted machinery and faded logbooks. The salty air felt almost sentient, thick and holding its own secrets. Flipping through the keeper's logs, Maya found Jasper's shaky handwriting growing more erratic in the final days. Notes mentioned a bell at midnight and the reflection in the glass, never your own. One page was torn out, and in its place was a scrap of oilskin with a simple map drawn in pencil, a spiral staircase leading to a trap door below the main lamp. Night crept closer, and with it, the sound. First, Maya thought it was the wind, but the pattern was steady, rhythmic. A bell striking once, then twice, echoing across the rocks. She followed the map, her footsteps hollow on iron stairs. The air chilled as she found the trap door beneath an old coiled rope. Hesitating but knowing she'd regret not opening it, she heaved it up. A narrow crawl space led her to a briny chamber. Here, glass jars sat on shelves lined up like ghostly trophies. Each one contained a slip of yellowed paper. Maya uncorked a jar. Inside was a detailed drawing of the sea, but not as any normal person saw it. Instead, the water swarmed with shadowy figures, elongated and hollow-eyed, rising from the depths. Maya realized these were Jasper's drawings, each more frenzied than the last. One depicted the lighthouse engulfed in darkness, figures pressing against the glass, their mouths twisted open as if keening. The final drawing showed the keeper himself, his face blurred and features stretched, as though he were dissolving into mist. The date was the night he vanished. Suddenly the temperature plummeted. A tremor shook through the floor, and Maya's flashlight flickered. Somewhere above, the bell tolled again, 3, 4 times, then silence. The quiet pressed in, so deep she heard her own heartbeat. In that dense hush, she saw, reflected in the domed lamp glass overhead, not her own face, but Jasper's as it appeared in the drawing, pleading, eyes wide and searching. Heart pounding, Maya staggered up the steps. The bell's echo seemed to follow, growing fainter the higher she climbed, until finally she burst out onto the salt-streaked catwalk. The storm had passed, the dawn slicing through the fog. Only the hush of waves remained. Back among the living, Maya's calm exterior belied what she had witnessed. She published her findings, a story about art, memory, and fear. But every so often, in moments just before sleep, she heard the tolling of a distant bell and saw, glimmering in her window, shifting faces in the morning mist. To this day, no one else has found the oilskin map or the sea-filled jars. Some call Maya's story a new legend, Harrow Point's next mystery. Others whisper that the shadows still wait at the bottom of the lighthouse, and if you listen closely, you might hear Jasper Vane's bell softly ringing through the fog.